Hello everyone. How are you this evening? Having a nice day? Enjoying the sunshine perhaps? Personally, I have been doing what I've been doing for the past, who even remembers anymore? Which is to say I have been, well, just sort of sat in this well for all day. Which I guess is my way of saying that you guys are more or less the closest I come to social care, and also enrichment. I apparently enrichment and enclosure are two words that are very popular these days. I need some more toys added to my enclosure for proper enrichment. So far all I have is this mug. Well, admittedly there is also a few bones around here, but those are mostly from Jeff, who didn't report in for work at the local Domino's this past week. Poor Jeff. I don't imagine that he's going to be getting a reference for his next place of employment. Then again, I'm sure I can find good use for him. As it happens, I have been spending most of the past week investigating this concept mortals have of childhood. It's very interesting. You're basically smaller versions of yourselves for like the first 15, 20, 30 years. And during that, there's all of these weirdly specific gate-kept things that you're not really supposed to do when you become an adult, which is the normal version of you. Like, apparently you get really into Dairy Lee Dunkers and Lunchables and Capri Suns. It's fascinating. I don't know why you do this. It doesn't make much sense. Like, why gatekeep these things? You enjoyed them when you were smaller you, why not enjoy them when you're large you? Or slightly larger you. Or extremely larger you. Or occasionally smaller you, which is an exceptionally odd trait. Humans aren't very consistent with this, it seems. Like, make up your minds. Are you gonna become bigger, smaller, what? But yes, it's been quite fun, actually, investigating these things. I've had a few of them delivered to the well. Or I guess to be more specific, Steve had them delivered to the well, because I had to sign up to a really big forest with a piece of plastic in order to actually get anything delivered here. At least that I was wanting to be delivered here. You guys still send weird things every so often. Thankfully, I have managed to get rid of all the pop rocks, so there's still the occasional crackling around here, but I think it's mostly fine. But yes, it has been a fascinating, educational, one may even say, week. There's that Pop Rocks again. Sorry, I must have found a packet in my foot. Hey. We'll get them eventually, I'm sure. But in the meantime, we were playing Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating sim, quite recently, and I'm not entirely sure how we managed to do it, but we seem to be going down the specific route of the spirit. And presumably, that's going to involve something involving ghosts, I guess. Apparently there's a long-standing human thing of catching or exorcising ghosts, and I think there might be some form of exercise involved if we go further down this route much more, but I don't think it's the kind of exercise that is usually meant with that. I'm a lot more into communing with spirits, so I'm not hugely familiar with how one exercises them. Tennis, maybe? Spirit was playing beach volleyball in the first day, so maybe we just play that a bunch. Well, Spirit kind of has a arguably unfair advantage in that she's constantly levitating. But it's probably fine. It's probably fine. The main thing that concerns is exactly how well my voice is going. Larynx not being very happy with me at this exact moment. Admittedly, this is the most I've told already so far today, so yeah. If I need to take a break to grab some libation or something, then I shall do so. But otherwise, I'm not sure what to do. Visual novels in general are kind of a rough thing to do. Just in general, as any kind of content, because essentially I'm reading constantly for hours on end. So it's just non-stop talking. It's really an endurance race, I guess, when it comes to doing content these days. Theoretically, I could treat the actual dialogue and whatnot as being... to do that. Cool. Oh, wait. I think I figured out what... Yeah, I know what's doing that. Oh. That is... Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's... I know what's doing that. Somehow I was tabbed onto Pretzel to like... turn the music back on, and then all of the controls for the Witch VTuber model are the numpad, which evidently was dialing in the volume. I'm sorry for that, everyone. Huh. Whoops. Oh well. But yeah, all of the hotkeys for the different expressions are actually numbers, so that must have been increasing the volume the whole time. Well, mystery solved there at least. Glad we figured that out before I actually started playing. Yeah. But yeah, just talking for several hours at a time is kind of rough on the voice. So if I need to take a break, I will take a break. But hopefully we'll be able to get through at least day 2. There's like a fair few. I think there's like 3 days total, so this might end up being another stream, but I think we can get at least through day 2. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, apparently we're going down the spirit line, which I think back in the day used to be called a ley line, but nonetheless. It's been interesting to see exactly which of these actually appeals, but it's absolutely categorically not Trapper, because Trapper is just a massive douchebag. There's a massive, rich, white douchebag. So, yeah. Just, like, dude literally invited us onto his boat. I don't know how much more of a cliche the guy can be. Also, he's big, muscly, self-important, and very violent, which is actually pretty par for the course for the old rich white people. But I'm not entirely certain exactly what era he's from. It's not mine, certain, I think. But I think I might predate most of these characters. That's actually a good question. What? We might need to try and figure out exactly when the Age of Legend was, in order for me to have any frame of reference as to which of these characters I'm actually closest in age to. Let me see, for what I remember of history, there's the 25th 21st century, which is apparently right now. And then in the 20th century, there was the war to end all wars, the Great War, and then there was the war that came after that that was even worse. Hats off to you guys for doing that, by the way. Like, really amazing how you managed to outdo yourselves. Never underestimate your capacity for violence. It's wonderful. And let me see. Before that, there was the steampunk era. No, the really reserved, sexually prudish era. The Victorian era. That was it. And then before that was Georgian? No, that was the American Revolution? Possibly? I think somewhere in there was also the American, like, Civil War. Very busy over there, it would seem. And then before that would have been the Middle Ages, I think? Or at least that... The most annoying thing here is that all of these things were named after the fact. So if I existed in them, I didn't know exactly what they were called until I've tried to look them up now. So finding out whether or not I was, for instance, present in BC or AD is difficult because back in the day, we just had a year. Usually. Actually, there was quite a few times we didn't have a year. But, you know, sometimes that happened, you know? You celebrated, like, a solstice, and then no one really remembered to write down the year, so you just ended up with having just sort of a missed year, a gap, if you will. A gap year. But 'tis fine. Anyways. We're gonna dive in real quick back to our wonderful game here and see just how we did. I'm gonna dial the music down because I don't remember exactly what value it was. And it's showing up on the bar series being a bit loud, so lame. Anyways, there we go. Ha! Right. So, let's start day 2, shall we? You open your eyes, the sun is shining, there's not a cloud in the sky, and you feel great! Totally well rested. You're not even suspicious of the fact that you fell asleep by the campfire but woke up several yards down the beach. Huh. That does pose some questions, doesn't it? Wait, are you on vacation? Was yesterday nothing more than a strange dream? I mean, it could be both. No, not a dream, you really are here for another day. Why? I have no idea, you're obviously a weirdo. Speaking of weirdos, I see the rest of the gang is hanging out on the beach. This is definitely not a dream. I wouldn't rule out a nightmare just yet, though. At least they make for a sexy bunch, though. I mean... for certain tastes, yes, definitely. And talk about sexy, here comes oh, no. Not this guy again. Here comes Trickster carrying coffee. Morning, beautiful. I thought you might like a nice cup of Joe to start this incredible day off right. It's made up Joe? Who's Joe? Oh. Trickster seems suspiciously cheerful. I'm sure there's nothing nefarious behind this joyful demeanor, though. Everyone knows musicians are morning people. This music is a little bit loud, it seems, for some reason. Let's dial things down a bit. Everyone knows musicians are morning people. Possibly morning me, if I choose this wrong. I also want to wish you luck. Today is an important one. Oh, my only regret is that I won't be a bigger part of it. Budgeting issues. Huh. Well, somebody has to get cut. Also, I'm just swamped with engagements, especially on the other island. Trickster winks at you. If you want to ask him how to reach the other island, now is the never mind, he left. He's mentioned that he's apparently the superior route, but I don't know that we've actually had to make almost any decision involving him whatsoever. So I don't know how we would exactly spend time with him. Well, at least he brought me a cup of weed killer. No, wait, don't drink that. The hell was that? They don't call him Trickster because he's good on a skateboard, and he definitely didn't get that name because he brings people drinks so they can have a good morning. That was almost certainly not coffee, and I don't want anyone casually poisoning, imprisoning, and torturing you. Yet. This is supposed to be a tropical paradise, the type of place you give a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up review to, not an eternal prison of pain. Although, to be fair, it seems like it could serve that function as well. And please make sure to leave a review, it really helps with the algorithms. Just trust me, I'm looking out for you, so can we please move on? Hey, wait a second. How did a possibly omniscient, possibly unreliable narrator physically just knock that coffee out of your hand? This is not Parliament, and the floor does not recognize the ocean to speak out of turn at this moment. I need no recognition, for I am the ocean. I dominate the land. I submerge those who defy me and become their watery grave. Actually, speaking of graves, I would like to say something of grave importance. Fine, go ahead. Even if this place is an eternal prison of pain, and I'm not saying it is, even a place of extreme horror can still receive a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10 thumbs up review if it was crafted with love and or that's the type of thing you're into. You know, the ocean is right, a lot of hard work goes into a place like this. You should really judge it on the artist's intent, and whenever possible, start from the mindset of giving them the benefit of the doubt. Constructing these elaborate vacations, is not easy to do. Sometimes there are small bugs or inconsistencies, but that's just the nature of the process. Perfection is overrated, and the sheer degree of meta involved in this right now. Wow. Really? Okay. You ought to celebrate those who venture to bare their souls as part of a creative process with the ultimate intent of making things for enjoyment, not to be overcritical of them. Are you trying to sell me on this place actually being good? You don't have to say it like that, especially after I saved you from that poorly made cup of coffee, somehow. Oh, it's the twosome. Sorry, we should have been here 5 minutes ago. They always do this on the second morning. Sad, really. Even if they do make some great points. Oh sure, they make great points, I agree. Can we please move on? Yes, of course, apologies, lying. The last few minutes aside, have you been enjoying your time here on the island? Yes, I'm not suspicious. There's no option. What an encouraging response. And we're so glad you're not suspicious. Hey, Claudette, maybe lying isn't suspicious because they figured out what they're actually doing here. 0 chance. They're still clicking, even right now, to see how you'll respond. Hey, look at that. Yeah, they don't know anything. Doesn't matter they're lying. We're so happy to hear you having fun. I didn't say I was having fun. We're all having fun, lying. Do you hear us? We're all having fun. We do need to ask you one more question, though. We all had to sign away our rights to say anything negative about this place. Would you please sign this non-disparagement agreement? This feels like lawyers. And gotta say, I remember lawyers. One of the oldest professions, you see. Hey, that's This is entrapment. Perfect. Delightful. Excellent. Yes. Yes! Hey, lying, it's still totally cool if you have considered because we all know that no is negative reviews of games resorts like this. Anyway, I see Dwight and Claudette have gone into a trance, and with the grumbling I hear from your belly, that can only mean one thing. Breakfast. Perfect timing. Everyone rolls into the dining area to load up those sexy little bellies with pancakes and bacon and... So much for maintaining those beach pots. We're all half naked in a tropical paradise. Can we get some strawberries here? A yogurt's magic powers will only get you so far. Even killers watch their sodium intake. To take your plate, and you take your plate and sit down, thinking about yesterday and the whirlwind of feelings you experienced. Danger, dread, disorientation, exasperation, exhaustion. It was like going through puberty again, except all in one day in a beautiful and mysterious island, and surprisingly with much fewer drugs. It looks like you're not the only one doing some introspection though. Trapper stands up to talk about how his day went in case anyone was wondering. Personally, I wasn't. Me neither. I can't imagine you can make me any angrier today than you did yesterday, but I really hope you do. I really, really hope you do. Unrelated. Anyone see where I left my cleaver? Just kidding. I always know where my cleaver is. Well, that was bizarre. Back to your nope. Now Hunter steps up to talk about her feelings. This island is treacherous. I don't know what the newcomer thinks they are doing here, but it certainly isn't helping any of us. Whoa. Huntress pretends to be all independent, but is she secretly kind of miffed you and her aren't getting along? Oh well, that must surely be it. No one else would weirdly stand up during breakfast and just like that, here comes the spirit. Something's not right. Did anyone else feel especially cold last night? Not in the technically dead sense, but I don't know, some other sense? It's like, for the first time in a long time, I felt the sun yesterday, and then it went away. I didn't like it. Guessing Rafe has had enough time to work up the courage to speak in front of a group. Ah, perfect, there he is. Take us home, Rafe. I'm glad the introduction of lying to our island paradise, and yeah, that was in quotations, didn't distract me from my normal routine, ignoring all of you and vice versa. This place is an eternal prison of suspicion and suffering, and no one cares. I'm still the only one asking any questions. I'm asking a question too. It's Wayne Will Rafe. Shut up. And now they're all looking expectantly at you. Wait, are you supposed to stand up and explain how yesterday made you feel? I think I need to process everything by myself. I'll see you all soon. Damn, what a power play. Keep him wanting more. You're getting good at this game, or sexy true-to-life experience. Shame you can't get to eat any breakfast, but so be it. Aw, I want pancakes. After breakfast, you head to the hot tub by yourself to clear your head. Yesterday was, in short, a lot. Before you get there, though, something catches your attention. You hear that? Who are you addressing, me? Well, yeah, I guess. That is okay, right? You know, I might be pursuing a relationship with one of these full-fine killers, but it feels like the person I'm going to know the most is... you, narrator. It's only okay in so much as it serves to illustrate that you've lost your mind, seeing how I'm not real and all. Yeah, I heard it this time. I think it's coming from behind the pool shed. No, stick it in there. A little more. A little more. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yes. How does that feel? Intense. Nice. Yeah, that feels right. This is uncomfortable. Now, I want you to take that and put it right... Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Just like that? Exactly like that. I swear I had no idea these two even do, whatever it is that they're doing. I'm afraid to look. Please say something so they know you're close by and they can hear everything. Oh, wow! Look at this super cool bottle of Trickster brand suntan lotion someone left on a chair. Anyone know where I can buy some? Did we really have to go for that? Okay. Damn it! Oh, come on, a little privacy, please. Dwight is panting and Claudette has a crazed look in her eyes. Sorry, I didn't know how else to let you know I was here, and that I could hear you. Well, you know. Know what? What do you think we were doing? You were doing... I don't know exactly what you were doing, but it sounded like, fun. You think two people trying to find new ways to kill each other in a desperate search to make their own death permanent is fun? Oops. We get 5 minutes to ourselves every day, and we spend it hoping if we stab each other in just the right spot, we won't get resurrected. I've come to believe that finding the key is the exact place we need to bleed out from. And I believe that place is our appendix. Why else would it be there? Makes sense to me. Did you actually think you were me and him, Dwight? You don't have to laugh that hard. They get it. Ah ha 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 ha. My life is a nightmare, and yet somehow it's never been worse than right now. Let's go, lover boy. I noticed all our entry wounds and our 5 minutes is up anyway. Good luck, Lang. You're going to need it. And hey, if you figure out how to escape this island, please make sure your ghost tells us how. That was both a tragedy and a comedy. A cragmedy. Shut up, I like it. Anyway, wait. Oh yeah. You're heading to the hot stop by yourself. You're heading to the hot tub by yourself to clear your head. Yesterday was, in short, a lot. So far, today has been exhausting too. But you're dedicated to achieving a true, centered sense of calm. No drama, no BS, just soaking up sun in a heated pool. Today, you're on a date with you. Oh, I like that. I want to be on a date with me. Who would make the first move? And aside from that disturbing thought, all is going to plan until a shadow blocks your precious sun. Spiky tips, like a palm tree is bending over to mess with you. But it's no tree at all, it's... Oh, that's actually much better than I was expecting. Well, for a certain value of better. Hey babe, breakfast was weird, huh? Everyone just getting up and announcing how they're feeling. What's that about? Some forced kind of checking with the group? I don't like it. Fishy. Kinda lazy. Whatever though, breakfast is dumb. No one should eat before noon, or after 4 PM. I'm not even usually awake by 4 PM. Yeah, I do intermittent fasting. You seen my abs, by the way? Yeah, you literally have... There's definitely more here than I'm pretty sure people usually have. Maybe you can see them later at my private stage on the other islands. You know, IP Island, where all the Hollywood celebs hang out. If you play your cards right. I could give you a private show. Catch your run. His abs are pretty amazing, in that there's way more of them than I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be. And the blow-up bat, threatening but adorable, makes for an interesting silhouette. Genius design. Really? Who is writing me here? He's a psychopath, just like the rest of them. You don't gotta give him anything. And we're not best friends just because we had a little talk about doing a little talking. It's not an open invitation to go smashing the fourth wall every 5 seconds. That's a lot coming from the guy who had so much meta within the first 5 minutes, sir. Okay. Now that that guy is gone and we've got some good ground rules established that we're definitely going to abide by, it's time to lay back, take some deep, slow breaths, and nope, another shadow. These people will not leave you alone. So who's it this time? Oh, it's Spirit, that checks out. You two have gotten pretty cozy. We should get out of here. I know a place that brings a bit of welcome darkness to this tropical nightmare. Best of all, I'm the only one that seems to know about it, so we won't be bothered there. I don't even know why I'm telling you, really. It's my private spot, but I guess I've got a feeling that you'll appreciate it in the way that I do. You're like these other killers. They don't get me. But I'll get them. Oh, I'll get them all. I'll get my father, too, and I'll punish him for what he did to my mother and me. Spirit radiates a menacing aura. Waving her sword around in the air, she threatens, well, the entire universe. It's scary and more than a little hot if you get turned on by that menacing kind of thing. Look, all this time a murder design has got us both a little confused about things. I'm choosing to lean into it. I'd suggest you do the same. You've seen her get mad, which is probably enough to scare you into compliance, but you've also seen that there's a more sensitive side hiding within her. Which one do you think will win out? Whichever one doesn't murder me first. You consider her offer, but before you can decide if you want to go for Spirit, the Wraith interjects. Honestly, Spirit's great. She's the only one around here that doesn't totally get on my nerves. I guess you've got good taste, but I don't know. We could hang out and I could show you some cool stuff, if you want. Or, forget I said anything. Aw, he's bashful. Tough choice. You weigh your options quickly because you can only go on one date today, and you also don't want to be hacked to pieces for saying the wrong thing. It's always good to remember that these are all cold-blooded killers, but you know what they say. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And then die a horrible, retching, writhing death after drinking it because the lemons were poisoned all along. Sorry, this island has really got me tilted. So who will it be? Well, given the whole if I pick wrong I might get stabbed aspect here, so far Rafe has been the least overtly malevolent. Like, he's been honestly just kind of bleh. He's probably nice in his own way, I'm sure, but Spirit has yanked out a sword at basically every opportunity and been exceedingly hostile the entire time. So I feel like if I don't pick Spirit, she's probably going to stab me. Or feel betrayed. And betrayed is probably the worst thing that we can make the Spirit feel right now, because it's kind of her whole shtick. Oh, hello, Luca. Did you bring enough toast for the rest of the class? Just give the Coverstone a nice, good, solid shove, and then just drop me a slice or two in. I'm hungry. Anyways, I gotta go with Spirit. You've made the correct decision, but know this: just because you picked me doesn't mean I'm going to slobber all over you like a dog. Understand? That is weirdly specific, actually. Okay, though, I guess. I mean, look at me, I'm surrounded by water. Slobber isn't that different. Actually, slobber is slightly more gelatinous. Maybe not. Maybe don't do that. You've still got a lot to prove to me. I want to believe that our connection is real, but I've been hurt before. Literally, with a katana, pieces of which are still jutting from you. Yep, a katana that I now wield in spectral form. You feel me? Because if you feel me, or if you try any of that the hair bear, because you will feel me if you try any of that macho trapper stuff. Okay, understood. Completely in the pipes, 5x5.
No.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't have any more bread. Here's a tenner.
Before you ask, Claudette and Dwight. Oh, Luca. Don't have any more bread. Here's a tenner. Aw, thank you so much. It's been a while since I've had a musician in the well. Oh. Before you ask Claudette and Dwight to clarify, I'll just let you know that yes, it is too late to change your answer now. You and Spirit arrive at the coast, overlooking the Black Lighthouse. It's old and decrepit, but still impressive. There's something magnetic about it. You can see why Spirit would be drawn to such a place. Also, that is gorgeous scenery. Like, look at that. That is a tableau and a half right there. Ooh. Nice. You look Spirit up and down and notice that she's wearing all black, just like the lighthouse. I'm noticing a bit of a theme. Is black your favorite color? Black isn't really a color at all, it's the absence of color, it's a void. Ah, I see, we have a nerd. Like me. Spirit smiles. Nature abhors a vacuum. You're not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The lapping waves on the shore of the coast set a romantic tone. The fog that surrounds Spirit everywhere she goes blends perfectly with the mist rolling up over the rocky shoreline. She's at one with this place, and so are you. The peace doesn't last too long, however, as the lighthouse lets out an eerie howl, like a monster dying. A spiraling black light stretches out across the sky. Spirit has to yell at you just to be heard. Oh, yeah, it does that. The light and sound recede, and the two of you sit in silence. Okay, so occasionally the lighthouse screams. This is now officially a piece of AI art. Spirit lays a towel down and then pats on it gently. Clearly she wants your company, so you oblige. When you do, she takes out some sunscreen and hands it to you. You're not exactly sure what to do. Is this an invitation to get in a little hands-on action? What else could it be? Thanks, I forgot to bring my own when I, lost my memory and fell into the ocean. No problem, I figured as much. Spirit turns away while you slather lotion all over your body. You need any help reaching those difficult spots? You see a hand float around your back. Okay, sure. Spirit's hand on your back is ice cold, but she has a soft touch. When she's done, she takes care of herself. Oh my. Also, that sounds actually kind of really nice. A hot, like, I am not accustomed to particularly hot climates. So just like, she's basically a walking cooler. Like that's, well, a hovering cooler, I guess. Like that's nice. Like, for a hot environment, somebody with poor circulation, you really want it. And she has basically no circulation whatsoever. You watch a spirit apply sun cream to herself in the most unique way by floating her own hand around her back to spread it on. I mean, that's more or less what we all do, isn't it? The fact that your hands just float around like that, you can reach things way easier than I can. It's almost like you're some kind of superhero. I'm glad you get a kick out of it, but floating severed limbs isn't exactly the type of superpower you think to wish for as a kid. I'd much rather be able to read minds. Maybe then I'd understand why some people act the way they do. I'm truly sorry, I hadn't clearly thought through what your experience was like. Sometimes humor is how you deal with uncomfortable situations, but clearly you read the room wrong. I was just thinking about what you must have gone through to end up like that. It had to have been horrible. It was worse than death. At least death ends, eventually. But I wouldn't want to forget it, it literally made me who I am right now. Truth is, I could pull all these bits of glass that are stuck in my flesh out right now if I wanted to. But I don't want to. Each shard is a reminder of what my father did to me, and what the world did to him. That's why I refuse to play the universe's game. I hate the idea that I'll be forced to succumb to pressure the way he did in the end. The way that fear and anger filled him up and then came bursting out, the way his misery flooded out home and drowned us all. Yeesh. It's hard not to think about revenge. The dragon inside me, it's doing to me what the world did to him. I have to fight it even though it gives me strength. I must maintain control. You're stronger than he ever was, I'm sure of it. I appreciate that line. I suppose a little help isn't a bad thing. In life, in love. This world is a lot to endure alone. Maybe I could use a little assistance reaching my delicate toes for a bit of lotion. You know, having your body contorted into these vengeful poses. It really does a number on my joints. Jeez, I can relate. Oy. It rubs the lotion on its skin. Oh boy. Flip. Missed completely. There we go. Dang it. Why is it going faster? Okay. Hey. Oh. Evil as it clearly is, in this case it does you a solid by blurting out another ominous moan and burst of black light that rescues you from this awkward silence. Aha. Oh, okay. From seemingly out of nowhere, an ancient-looking ship appears in the water. It glows, itself a thing of death, a spirit of a ship that once sailed these seas centuries ago. A tattered black flag whips in the ocean air above the ship as it careens toward the shore. Before crashing on the rocks. It must have been drawn in by the— That's not how lighthouses work! You hear the distant shouting of sailors as the old wooden ghost ship breaks up and sinks into the water. Oh, right, it does that sometimes too. Should we, do something? Nah, the sharks will take care of it. Within a minute, the ocean is quiet again except for the waves. Raves? Waves. What is with my mouth today? It's just all tongue-tied. Note to self, hungry sharks. But these time-traveling pirates, or whoever they were, you're half sure you saw one of those skull and crossbone flags, aren't the only ones drawn here today. It's Rafe. He has emerged from the palm trees behind you. I didn't come here to break up your date or something. I came here for that. Rafe points to the lighthouse. It is indifferent to his attention. I've been seeing it in my dreams, shining its strange light on me. I can't avoid it, though woods and walls, nothing seems to stop it from reaching me. Duh, it's a haunted lighthouse. It does that to everyone at some point. You're no more special than me, those dead pirates, or that mermaid I saw washed up on shore that one time. Ew. Mermaids, by the way, aren't even close to as beautiful in person as they are in movies. More sea witch than underwater princess, if you get my drift. Ooh, sea witch. It's all part of a vast conspiracy, an epic river of lies that runs beneath the island. Or something. I'm pretty sure I figured it out. The basics. Anyhow, if you come with me, you can get cut. Spirit waves her katana, nearly trimming a couple buttons off of Rafe's tropical top. He takes the hint and backs away a few steps. Slowly. For the quiet guy, he never really shuts up. Okay, be that way. You'll see. Alone at last, tension broken, deftly moans quiet, and Rafe banished back to wherever he hangs out. You scooch closer to Spirit, breathing in the damp, foggy air that seems to emanate from her. It's not quite clear how that whole fog thing works, but you don't even care. You're feeling this moment. Spirit seems to be feeling it too. She starts to adjust her robe, and you get a peek at the bathing suit underneath. For someone who seems intent on proving how little she cares about what everyone else thinks, she put a lot of work into getting into that suit. It's got straps for days. However, you're so focused on what's happening with Spirit, you don't see the next interruption coming. And Claudette and Dwight burst in on you and interrupt whatever you were doing. It doesn't seem like they were worried they'd bump into much. Rude. We're here to make a very dramatic announcement. Well, technically, we're here to invite you to join us back at the beach, where we'll be making a very dramatic announcement. It's hard being the producers and the hosts. Aren't survivors supposed to work in groups of 4? When you arrive at the beach, you'll realize you were set up. Despite promising an announcement, Dwight and Claudette simply stand quietly. This isn't at all what was promised. Wait a minute, there's no announcement here. But there is a me! You got mud in your ears, friend? I told you to get lost. Don't you see? Lost is what I am, and so are you, but I know the way out. I've got a map back in my secret lair, literally and figuratively. Yeah, I know the difference. That's why you should ditch Spirit and come spend the rest of the night with me instead. You've got a secret lair? Damn it! Who said anything about a secret lair? I've said I've got, sap in my secret hair. There's a flap on my secret chair. Don't change the subject. Don't ask me what he's talking about. You're trying to make a mess of the first nice day I've had in I don't know how long, because it's not even clear what year it is, but in a while. I'm not about to be ditched for the likes of you. It's not me messing things up, I keep telling you, it's this dang island. I've come to accept a difficult truth. What's happening here? Well, I'm convinced that it's our fate. It's not anyone's decision, it's simply the way it will be. There's no use fighting it. What would you even know about fighting? All you know is hiding in your spooky little secret hair and crying like a baby while ringing your little bell. So don't tell me what I can and can't fight back against. I was born a fighter. A dragon lives in me. I can't not fight even when all I might want to do is hide. Don't you see this giant hat? It's a metaphor. If I do have a fate, my fate is to win every fight that comes my way. Got it? Folks? Oh, you hide. I've seen you hide. You do your phase walking routine. What do you call that? It's basically cloaking. We all know that cloaking is a type of hiding. I mean, he's not entirely wrong. Folks, you cloak, I don't cloak. I'm not a cloaker. I phase walk out in the open. You just can't see me. You have no idea what they're talking about, but this sure sounds like some video game community forum thread minutiae if ever there was such a thing. Not that you know about that either. I mean, I'm trying. It sure doesn't seem like Dwight and Claudette are going to stop this, so it's on you. Ahem. I think I was brought here to make this choice, so I'm going to do that now. And I choose Pikachu. Wait, no. Bleh. When it comes down to it, neither of these two seems easy to love. I mean, damn, Spirit literally has broken glass shards sticking out of her, but she has a certain charm to her gloom. Spirit and I were actually having a nice time. Besides, if it's my fate to end up on this island, well, to hell with fate, really. And don't take this the wrong way, Rafe, but the amount of awkwardness you pack into a single day. No wonder you're so skinny. All that second-guessing yourself must burn a lot of calories. No offense taken, it's... Yeah, okay, it's true. I can be a little awkward, I guess, sometimes. Right, so I'm going to stick with Spirit. Spirit breathes a sigh of relief. I've got enough revenge to do without having to kill you and Rafe, too. Spirit walks you around a corner to show you something that she discovered in this place and knew was meant to be connected with her journey. A cherry tree. It's just a small sapling, but it has begun to sprout flowers. It doesn't make sense to see a cherry tree here in this place. Yeah, is this really the climate for it? It also doesn't make sense to see a ghost in a black bathing suit, so you just accept it. As Spirit steps up to the tree, oh, there's particles. Cute. A cold breeze pulls some petals off and they come cascading through the air around the both of you. Do you know the meaning of the cherry blossom? They're beautiful, but also quite symbolic. Of course, like all good symbols, their meaning is pretty complicated. What do they mean to you? For many people, being among cherry blossoms is like being in a celebration of life. People travel great distances just to be near their vibrant beauty. However, as beautiful as they might be, they aren't magical. They're simply flowers. They quickly die and fade away, and for this reason they are also a symbol of the fleeting nature of life, of our fragile mortality. In a way, it's the spectre of looming death that calls attention to this special moment, to see and appreciate life. How does that duality make you feel like? I'm basically eternal, so... Meh? As you look at the tree and consider Spirit's question, you reflect on your own current predicament. Stranded here, no understanding of why, no control. Oh, yep, yeah, I picked the definitely correct answer. Hey. The beauty of this island, the attention of such an interesting companion, it should bring you joy, but it comes at the price of being completely confused and helpless. Rub it in, why don't you? You look down and see a crumbling cherry blossom on the ground at your feet. As you stare at it, something begins to rage inside you, like a dragon. How can anyone find comfort, even for a moment, with a death and decay looming on the horizon? It makes me so frustrated, it makes me so mad! I want to do something about it, I want to strike back against this rubbish reality. Spirit lets you go off, staying calm despite your bubbling rage. She must know faults like this. Is that why she asked you? So that you'd see things from her point of view? I want to be alive! You feel connected to her at this moment more than you have at any point before. You wonder, does she feel the same? Once, the fallen cherry blossoms represented the souls of samurai warriors. Those with noble characters, those who did not fear death, those who were killed in the greatest sacrifice to honor their emperor. Their lives were short, but their purpose gave them beauty. Those warriors saw death coming, but they never despaired. They stood and faced it, they held their swords and struck down their fear. But despite the samurai spirit that lives on in me, my noble bloodline, my life is ended, but my death continues to stretch on. The cycle is frozen. This cherry tree, it's not real. Though its petals fall, they soon replenish. It's as if they were installed here by someone. You watch as Spirit chooses her words very carefully. By something, with no respect for the balance of life and death. Some weird kind of entity, I guess. We're sorry to interrupt. You know we don't believe you, right? Yep. But this time we've got a really good reason. And it has nothing to do with us being manipulated by an unseen force, because that's definitely not happening. Nobody accused you of that, but okay. I mean, I was gonna. We were just here to tell you that it's time for dinner, silly. Get it while it's hot. We haven't even had lunch yet, but okay. I guess it's time to go, or whatever. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I enjoyed it. Me too. What a fun day you've been having. I can see it written all over your face. You're shining. And that's not just the remaining anxious sweat from spending an afternoon courting a psycho killer. No, you really are feeling this whole romantic experience. Don't worry, I'll keep your dirty little secrets. But enough gentle ribbing. It's time to get back to business. All the, appetizing singles have arrived for dinner. Including Trickster. Rafe is here too. We're not going to do the gag where we cram them all on screen at the same time again, so just believe me, they're all here, and they're just as sexy and demented as you remember them. With your love on the line, everyone is being very careful not to offend you by saying the wrong thing. Congrats, by the way, on getting this far. I'm as surprised as you are that these four are falling for you. No, not because of your personality, but because you just met them yesterday. I mean, I know Love Island exists. However, since Trapper seems like the biggest longshot to end up holding onto your heart, he throws caution to the wind and speaks up. It's a pretty small consolation prize for being the least loved killer on Murderer's Island, but hey, letting them have this one moment in the spotlight is the least we can do. Typo. They made a typo in the official release. Aha, get them. And heaven knows that they won't do any better than that. If I'm dining solo, I'm eating what I want, and you're all eating it too. Lamb shank, rare, salt, pepper, no sauces allowed, and serve it with one single piece of broccoli so Rafe won't complain. I like broccoli. Gives me horrible gas. Oh, I don't like that. Buddy, wait till you smell what rare lamb does to my bowels. It's awesome. Dinner will be served shortly, but certain power brokers would like to know about your day. Would you like to share your day with the rest of the group? You've had an interesting day, that's for sure, but how will you describe it to the others? Say too much or too little, and it could offend your standing with the group. Okay, but don't just sit there saying nothing. Nothing is not an option. Spirit seemed like she'd prefer if other people weren't involved. So I feel like gushing is a really bad idea. That's just self-preservation, really, at that stage. It wasn't really a date, more like two people avoiding everyone else and choosing to be alone, but doing it in a relatively close proximity to each other. That is possibly the dorkiest thing I think I've said so far in this game. Huh. That's exactly right. Couldn't have not said anything of value better myself. Spirit is clearly happy with the way you portrayed your date. No surprise, she doesn't like people getting into her business. Called it! Dwight and Claudette bring out dinner. Everyone eats in silence. No one trusts anyone now, and they are all very tired. Oh, wait, no, sorry. That's a dreary supernatural horror thriller set in Antarctica, not a charming parody dating sim set in an undisclosed tropical paradise. Bony appetite. Don't you mean bon? No, almost everything we serve has a lot of bones in it, even the vegetables. Impossible to avoid on this island. Everyone eats without speaking. Tensions arriving, both of the sexual and deadly variety. When everyone finishes, Dwight and Claudette come back to clean up the table. They linger around you as you pick up your plates, you take your napkin, and dust crumbs off the table. What would you like to say to the servants? They've been nothing but nuisances, for the most part so far. So, But also, they do seem to have a pretty rough deal. Like, if they're actively trying to figure out the best way to murder themselves. Let's do them a little kindness, shall we? Your top-notch service is much appreciated. In fact, here. For us, just for doing our jobs, thank you kindly. Everyone, if you would please be so kind as to follow us to the fire pit, we'd greatly appreciate it. We've been told something big is going to happen. Something that will change everything. You can go willingly, or you can go unwillingly. You have no choice. Tough cookies. Did you have a choice in how you said that, dweeb? Yes, and I immediately regret how I did. Good. Something needs to change around here. Fire is rebirth. Fire illuminates the soul. I hope the fire isn't too smoky. Smoke hurts my eyes. I have pretty sensitive eyes. I'm also horribly afraid of it. The fire, I mean, not my eyes. Because of childhood trauma involving fire. And finally, everyone starts moving toward the fire pit. If only to get away from Rick's complaining. You take a seat on a comfortable log, feeling the fire's heat against your skin, and wait for other killers to take their places, wondering who'll want to tell a story this time. Will narrator tell a story? I bet they've got a stunningly creative mind. Hey, you think, are they allowed to simply place thoughts in my mind like this? Doesn't seem fair. Everyone makes their way in, but something unexpected happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. Something almost always seems to be happening here, so nothing is probably not a great sign. Oh, cool, and now everyone is looking at you. So, you know, do something. Should I pick someone to tell a story? Or we could play charades? Boggle? Well, we were actually thinking, why don't you tell us a story? Rafe points his spine and skull staff thingamajig thing at you. You duck out of its way. Who knows what that thing can do? Probably shoots lasers. Try not to bore us. We're just very interested in you. Man, if you lift that skirt, everyone's gonna be very interested in you. Don't speak for me, Huntress. Now you can't tell if you're warm from the fire or if it's your nerves heating up, or the tropical climate, probably all three. I know that the fire is right here, but maybe if we stop talking about it all the time, we can start to pretend it's not here and doesn't, you know, threaten to burn us all alive. He's not supposed to hear me. Get out of here, Rafe. Lying was about to make an important decision about telling a story or not. I can tell a story, I think. Yeah. Sure, I'm game. Oh, and here's the other guy. He's also here, apparently. So what type of story do you want to tell? Let's see, we had weirdo horror kind of story last time. Romance seems the most obvious solution here. This is a dating sim, after all. About two lovers who take poison together and die foaming at the mouth. Romeo and Juliet has already been done. Or about two strong hunters who meet when they both try to bludgeon the same wily Wolverine. Wolverine versus Hulk has already been done. Not quite. It's about my parents. They met at a party in college. He was hosting, she'd been dragged there by some friends. They couldn't have been more different, and yet, as the night went on, they were drawn to each other. She made fun of his taste in music, and he took an interest in her major, women's studies. They were married within 2 months. A bit soon to know if you can trust someone, don't you think? It's so sweet. Exactly. I learned a lot about love from them. If you know, you know. Some people don't need years to get acquainted with their partner. Love could spark from a mere look across a campfire. Now you've got their attention. Each killer is furiously attempting to catch your eye from across the fire pit. Except for Trickster, who has wandered over to the bar and is loudly playing his own music on headphones to drown you out. Okay, that was not a very good story. I don't mean to insult you, but it was actually quite bad. Sorry, but this narrator keeps it real. We just can't end it here. So who else would you like to hear a story from tonight? You look from killer to killer, trying to decide who might be the most entertaining. Are we keeping the same theme? I suppose I could tell a story. I don't really want to, but anything I say is sure to be better than whatever you get out of anyone else in this group. Like all good stories, I stole this one from someone in the past who is dead now and can't do anything about it. Damn! I mean, you're not wrong, but dang! It's called The Bride. Technically, I suppose, the fiancé. Oh, you stole this from Quentin Tarantino! Also, good news, Quentin Tarantino is dead. One winter, a young couple decided that next spring they would be married. The two were madly in love and could not wait for the snow to melt, so they could join in matrimony and unite their souls for eternity. Per the latest bridal trends, they decided to have their wedding ceremony at the edge of the woods by a beautiful shabby chic farmhouse. Oh, I think I know that farmhouse. Yeah. Together they spent months planning the details of the wedding. The two created invitations, figured out seating arrangements, and tasted 100 cakes before settling on the perfect one. They chose Lilycoat, by the way. So fancy. When it came time to figure out the decorations, however, the bride, or the fiancé, I guess, since she wasn't actually married yet, wanted to take the lead and set the style. After all, her boyfriend had been wearing cargo shorts and open-toe sandals for pretty much their entire relationship, so he was definitely not to be trusted. Ugh. Having decided on such a lovely, natural setting for the ceremony, the fiancé decided that she would create unique floral arrangements from the local wildflowers that surround the farmhouse. As soon as the sun rose on the first day of spring, she set off into the woods. Each day, she spent hours mapping out where the best blooms could be found and prepared to pick them herself the morning of the wedding, so that they'd be at the height of their freshness and beauty. Enamored with the incredible variety of flowers in the woods she surveyed, the bride, or the fiancé, since they had not yet been married, became obsessed with knowing just how many there were, so that she could choose the absolute best. When the fateful morning of her big day finally came, the fiancé told her husband-to-be that she had one final errand before the wedding. Hiring a divorce lawyer. Excited for the ceremony to come, she dressed in her beautiful white gown and set off into the woods to gather flowers. Oh, that's gonna ruin your trail. Okay. Treading carefully, she followed her route, selecting only the best stems and collecting them in a basket. However, when she came upon a once familiar clearing, something was not as she expected. Somehow, it was more beautiful now than it had ever been before, and just on the edge of her view was a new bush, filled with blossoms so vibrant and colourful she became dizzy just looking at them. But the fiancé ignored her sudden spell and pressed ahead, scooping up flower after flower, and every time she did, she noticed just further ahead impossibly even more beautiful blossoms. Someone's entered the Fae realm. Carried by the sweet fragrance of spring, the fiancé, crept farther and farther into the woods until she turned a corner, stepped over a mossy, fallen tree trunk, and realized she had been here before. But this wasn't the clearing she remembered, or at least not as she remembered it. The flowers were suddenly overripe, decaying, falling from their stems into festering, moldy piles on the floor. Where bees had been, now only flies buzzed. Where the scene of flowers had once intoxicated her, and the odor of mildew now made her sick. She turned and looked back, but the path was dark. Into a shadowy glen she walked, and walked, and walked. That day, as guests gathered at the farmhouse, the fiancé was nowhere to be seen. Her friends, family, and love began to look for her, but to no avail. They searched the pasture, the tree line, and into the forest, but there were no beautiful wildflowers or young lovers to be seen. Just old, dead trees, trampled vines, and moss-covered rocks. The fiancé stayed a fiancé for eternity, always wondering, looking for fresher blooms to clip, but never finding them. Distracted by a never-ending search for perfection, unable to see that you are loved for who you are. Out there all alone. I thought it was beautiful and sad. Just like someone we know. Ah, yes. Chat. How was story time? A lot of people like to take pot shots at sequels, but I think every good story deserves a follow-up. When you think it's the end, the sequel is almost never as rewarding as the original. That's why I'm much more of a fan of episodic style of storytelling. Knowing it's a series takes a lot of pressure off of any individual installment, and builds a greater sense of community between audience and creator. Tell me, Lang, if you could delete any sequel from existence, what would it be? Don't answer that, we don't actually care. We're just here to make sure that we seamlessly move on to the next segment of the evening. God forbid my small talk in the way of a romantic Twilight moment. Dwight, I'm gonna need you to shut your yap trap. You know that we need to get back to that thing we do whenever we're not on screen. Okay, you have fun tonight, and try not to wink wink end up dead. Why did you say the words wink wink out aloud? And what kind of double entendre are you getting at with the end up dead thing? La petite mot. Dwight is physically incapable of winning, not since the accident. And you do know that all of these people are despicable criminals with double-digit kill counts, right? Well, except for Spirit. She doesn't really belong here. She's strictly a victim, not a perpetrator. No wonder she's annoyed. Did I hear somebody trash-talking Spirit? Deal me in. What do you say we take this talk to the hot tub so I can soak this bard while I roast that ghost with some killer hot takes? Please, enough talk of burns, things that are lit, or getting blazed. It's enough that these activities have to be set next to a literal fire. Must I be surrounded by figurative flames as well? What if we turned and ran as far away from this place as we could? Just you and me. On those spindly legs? You're probably tired before you got too far. If it's running away to someplace more secluded Lang is after, they should obviously join me. Have you seen these legs? Pure power. You're seriously not kidding there, actually. Like, the size of those thighs. That she flashes at every opportunity. Seriously. Wow. Not that my walk speed really reflects my giant stature, but that's because I choose to move slowly for stealthy reasons. It's my own choice and it's completely logical. Meta! Once again! Why is everyone so obsessed with comparing themselves to each other and creating drama? I'm so over all that. Don't you get it? Society wants to trick you into fighting with each other so that corporations can swoop in and sell you fake solutions to all your fabricated problems. Yes. Foreigner. Cookie. Yes. I'll be sitting in the shade and drinking something locally sourced while thumbing through a public domain novella printed on recycled paper because I refuse to play their game anymore. It's like she's actively trying to be as unappealing as possible. Does it really turn anyone else on, or just me? Despite Trapper's was there an art change for Trapper? I hope not, but I'm pretty sure it's behind my hat, so you all couldn't see it. Despite Trapper's insatiable appetite, it seems his attention, along with the attention of everyone else, is still on you for the moment. Why are all of these people suddenly thirsty over me? I thought I was the unappealing character here. Yeah, who am I kidding? I'm hecking appealing. If you could, I don't know, just pick one of us, maybe we could all move on with our lives. Or, you know, some special projects we might have going. You heard him. Who will it be? Who will you head off with for an evening activity? I'm just saying, you might not get a ton of chances to date around like this before your time on Murder's Island comes to a close. And no, I'm not satisfied with that name either, but with this streaming reality TV dating show boom happening, it's pretty much all that wasn't taken. Which killer will you pick? And yes, we're back to excluding Trickster because, ugh, that guy. Fine by me. Spirit? Oh, you picked me. Yay. Sorry, that was rude of me. I despise phoniness, so I should be honest with you. You make for interesting company, and I love the idea of winning over these other killers at all costs. Even when I hate the game and the prize, but I had a long day. Floating, subverting expectations, grinding my teeth as I imagine sweet, sweet revenge, it takes a lot out of me. So don't stop bringing your A game, alright? It might seem like I hate everything, and getting to really know who I am is an impossible task not worth trying, but too bad. You won't know unless you search deep inside yourself and bring everything you've got. Or just say the exact right thing at the right time and melt my cold heart in an instant. I know the rules here any better than you do. See you at the bar, I guess. You arrive at the bar to find Dwight and Claudette both holding cocktail shakers, surrounded by a bevy of bottles for assorted boozes. Are they trying to, like, Nicolas Cage alcoholism this now? Because I hate to tell you, that's a very, very, very slow way to die. Who's ready to get wasted? As you know, I don't drink, so not me, unless you mean wasted as in killed, in which case, Dad, if you're out there somewhere, I will find you and waste you for what you've done to me. You really don't drink, ever? Is that, like, because it will just fall out of a hole in your stomach thing, or... I don't drink alcohol because alcohol is a poison of the body and the mind, and I don't need to act like a fool to have a good time thing. Then why did you choose mixology lessons as your romantic nighttime activity? Everyone knows this kind of age is just an excuse to get loaded up on booze and make terrible decisions. It's true, not a single person It's true, not a single person has ever learned anything at one of these things. Dwight, now that's not true. You learned how to tie a cherry knot in a stem using only your tongue. I would actually like to learn that. That sounds like quite the party trick. Whoa, who ordered the soda with a splash of my private business? Because that's off menu. Well, I know what I'm drinking to forget then. To forget tonight. Mixology is a real thing and it doesn't require alcohol to be interesting. I'll have you all know that I worked at a restaurant before I was violently executed. By your father. On whom you will have your bloody vengeance, right, well, so be it. How about you, Lane? Do you drink? No. No, I don't. I've got the impression that tonight will be a night I want to remember perfectly, so I'm going to pass on the alcoholic drinks. I have been surrounded by alcohol most of my life, and honestly, over it before I was even allowed to drink it. So, yeah. Here. Alcohol is a false escape. Besides, it's not like sober people can't have fun. You watch as Spirit picks up a plump cherry and roughly stabs a little plastic sword through it. Cherry juice splatters everywhere and its little fruity guts flop out into Spirit's lap. Whoopsie. One of the upsides of wearing black. It hardly shows any stains. No take-backsies. So, lovebirds, what drinks shall we make? Ooh. Oh. I mean, this is actually rough. Fancy beer is definitely out. Because that's not even like a drink you can make. It's you just pour that. And granted, there's a little bit of work that goes into how to pour it correctly, but bleh. Bloody Mary is also pretty basic. Like, come on, that's just easy. So zombie or dark and stormy? I do like a good zombie story. Like a good zombie story. Haven't the foggiest of what it's like as a drink. I'm gonna go with dark and stormy. Who doesn't like a nice little dark and stormy night? How about a dark and stormy drink for my dark and stormy date? Okay, that one is cute. Please allow us to demonstrate how a dark and stormy is made. First, rum, or in this case, rum extract and a bit of apple juice, is poured over ice. And then fresh ginger beer is added in. Garnish with a lime wheel, and drink. The end. Do you think you're up to the challenge of replicating this recipe? I was barely paying attention, but okay. Replicating rum substitute and ginger beer over ice. Thank you, me, for summarizing that. Don't forget the lime wheel. Rum substitute and ginger beer over ice with a lime wheel. Not sure I appreciate your tone, but yes, you've got it. You're a natural. A sassy natural. Well, thank you. You and Dwight might have more in common than don't you dare. Spirit seems to be in a lovely mood as she sips her dark and stormy. She's not even rolling her eyes at your petty behavior. On a cue, a literal dark storm begins to make its way in from the ocean. You taste your own dark and stormy as you watch the clouds approach. It's quite refreshing. Isn't this fun? Honestly, it's the most drama-free fun I've had since I got here. And since you picked a simple but delicious drink, we've got plenty of time to relax. Wanna make out a little? You breathe in a sip of your drink and immediately begin coughing. Before you can get a yes out, lightning strikes upon— oh, that face. That's such a cute expression. Lightning strikes a palm tree on the beach and it immediately starts a fire. The activity ends abruptly as Claudette and Dwight usher the two of you away from the bar. The gang's all together again on the volleyball court. Seems like only yesterday you were sitting on the sidelines watching everyone get sweaty. That's because it was? Oi, feels like I've been here a lot longer than that, actually. It's so late that the sun's already beginning to rise. Better get this over with quickly so that I mean you, can get some beauty rest. I do not recommend the eternal damnation of perpetual narrator, though. Tell me about it. My throat, my voice, Good thing you've really used your time well since then. Really getting to know the gang. The brain, the mobile, the basket case, the psychotic bunny girl. You know, the 4 types of people. Gender. Anyway, everyone is gathered on the volleyball court for a new type of game. Pitch your dream date and see who lying chooses. Who's ready for a round robin? How round are we talking? No, not to eat, Huntress. Each killer gets 2 minutes to tell you all about the dream date they have planned for you tomorrow. In no particular order, which is a weird thing to mention, right? Almost like the order does matter. Trapper, why don't you go first? You think you deserve it, even if in this case it's a subtle dig. Stop talking. Trapper, without further ado, would you like to make us all uncomfortable by pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable not only in polite society, but within the narrative of this in-world event, and also the larger narrative of a Dead-by-Daylight dating experience? Sometimes you just gotta say it. Oh boy. Why yes, thank you, I'd love to. So, lying, you're thinking of picking me. Well, this is your final warning. Pick me and be punished. And rewarded? Tomorrow will suck, probably. I'm not an easy guy to get along with, I know that. But I can tell you this much, I'm hiding a secret on this island that will make fans poop themselves with excitement. If you like Trapper, you're gonna love it, and if you're not, if not, you're a maggot. Also, everyone, even in confidence, sexy ladies in rabbit masks, better stay the heck away from my yacht. Because of course he has a yacht. Great. Huntress, why don't you take it from here? Tomorrow morning I'm planning on a nice atmospheric breakfast on the yacht. Don't worry, Trapper won't even know it's gone. Oh, that is immediately tempting. What was that? Nothing. Go away. She's cute when she's flustered like that. Then, boy oh boy, I've got such an adventure planned. It involves hunting for treasure. What kind of treasure are we looking for? Guess you'll have to pick me to find out. Let me tell you, it's pretty much stuff. Now, if you don't mind, I've got to start preparing, because it's clear already that you're going to pick me. Confident, mysterious, I like it. Sorry, anyway, Rafe? I don't know. I'd really prefer to just tell Lying privately. I don't really know how that's going to work with these game mechanics. What if you just whispered it to Lying? Rafe considers this for a long moment. Too long. That's fine. Without moving, Rafe lowers his voice to a barely audible whisper. Tomorrow we have to find my bell. Really? Really, dude? You're whispering that in my ear? Really? My... Oi. Go get... I don't even know of a counter-entendre for that. And then I can finally tell you what I've been working on. It's going to be really special, the kind of thing where we really bond. Yeah, and then I'm sure you'll somehow end up giving me the clapper. And maybe finally get off this island. And maybe then we can go on a real date. You done? Is that it? Rafe nods, proud. Get the hell away from me. Hit us, Spirit. Figuratively. Damn it, Dwight, you gotta watch your words with these people. Tomorrow, you'll spit in the face of God, die, and be reborn anew. That is a strong opening line. Wow! That's it? If you're not intrigued by that, I don't want you. Go draw a crayon art with Trapper or dig up whatever mysteries with Rafe. I don't know what those guys do all day. Do you want to at least specify which god you'll be spitting in the face of? All of them! Oh ho 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 ho! I am sold so hard right now. Okay then, so hydrate tonight if you intend to hang Whisper. And time's up, everyone. Gosh, you'll need to dream about these options so you're ready to choose in the morning. Now go dream about all those swoon-worthy options so you're ready to make a choice come dawn. Have a swell night. Did you two forget to mention something? Oh gosh, how could we forget? Before you run off to slumber peacefully, there's one more thing to do. No reality survival dating competition parody will be complete without singling out one of our contestants who is already teetering on the edge of a psychological break, and giving them a little push. Hold up, this has been a survival dating competition parody this entire time and I'm just now finding out about it. Come on, the signs were there, you just didn't read them. Welcome to Murderer's Island. It's now time to eliminate one of the killers! Oof, it's like a butchering, but it hurts even worse. You can't kill a killer, but can you break their heart? Do you dare even try? You mean... That's right, tomorrow one of these sexy slicers will not be eligible to take you on a date. Who's it gonna be? But why? Because it's dramatic. Because it's surprising? Because it's a classic reversal of fate? And it will hurt someone's feelings. Someone dangerous. What's it gonna be, chap? What's your thought process here? Trapper seems like he might throttle you in your sleep if you eliminate him, but also I wanna... That being said, at least you'd see him coming. Spirit could be anywhere. She floats, and I hear she can disappear. Hard to track. Eek, if you get rid of Rafe, he might cry. And although I totally support normalizing men crying and being vulnerable, it seems like he might be an ugly crier. Huntress? She might pretend to be okay with it, but then you'll start seeing her behind every tree. What I'm trying to say is, I don't envy you, boss. So, which sociopath are you eliminating? It has to be Trapper. I'm a little curious if his yacht will stay around, but we definitely want to get rid of Trapper. Like, the guy is just a rich douchebag. Like, no question here. Everyone else here has redeeming traits, except him. This was very simple. Trapper, you scared the living hell out of me. You are eliminated. That's fair. Honestly though, I don't care. You suck. But not in a good way. You bore me, you personality-free maggot. It wouldn't even be fun to kill you. Which I was totally gonna do tomorrow the first chance I got, so really this is a win-win for both of us. Still might kill you though. Out of principle for eliminating me. Sleep with both eyes open, and have fun on your date tomorrow. Now that you've broken the heart of someone heartless, you should go get some shut-eye. And don't worry too much about the broken heart you've left behind. Because of course, they'll be receiving a consolation prize! They might not get to go home with lying when this is all over, but they'll never sleep alone again. That's right, we're sending our limited player home with... Oh, Christ. Their own, mostly new, Trickster body pillow. The next best thing to the real Trickster. It might not hug you back, but it definitely won't try and stab you. And how do we know? Because I've tried it. That's right, it's Dwight tested. Claudette approved. I hope you sleep well tonight, Lang. You're my hero for what you've accomplished. How can you sleep tonight knowing what you've done? No, not because of the guilt. I mean knowing that there's a legit homicidal maniac who hates you so close by. How can you sleep tonight knowing what you'll do tomorrow? I don't know how you'll do it, but you better go before Dwight and Claudette come back and put you to sleep themselves. You know those two. Schedule, schedule, schedule. Wow, what a crazy way to end the day. An elimination. I didn't even know it was that kind of game. Let's check in with everyone, especially with our loser. Everyone deserves a send-off. We'll see how things go tomorrow, I suppose. I'm not expecting anything. I tend to shut my mind off during hard times. I know, I seem all excited and devil-may-care, but the truth is I'm really a pessimist at heart. That tends to happen when your mother is skewered by an elk when you were young. Yeah, how'd you know? Wild guess. It's also the only thing you talk about. If you'll excuse me, I think I saw a raccoon over in that tree and I'm feeling peckish. I don't really know what's happening here. I honestly haven't been paying much attention. Oh, lying? Sorry, I forgot. I'm focusing on other things. More important things. One way or another, I won't be here for much longer. I don't handle rejection well. At least I don't think I do. No one has ever been dumb enough to reject me before. Yeah, the more I think about it, the angrier I'm getting. And I'm a giant rage monster, so everyone in this room should be scared right now. Turn the camera off. Of course Lang is into me. Why wouldn't they be? I'm thoughtful, beautiful, surrounded by a calming mist. I've also got great hair. And since I'm technically dead, I'm extremely low maintenance. Look, I don't like to throw the term anime waifu around too often, but if the body pillow fits, snuggle it, you know what I mean? What? No, you're not a part of this, you don't get a confessional. It's cool, man, I'm not a part of anything, you feel me? I'm not a cog in anyone's machine, I'm my own machine. This whole thing is pretty cute though. Charmingly low budget, old school marketing vibes. NGL kinda wish I wasn't so busy right now, I'd definitely be down with a reality show style dating competition with survival elements. But I got my new album, upcoming tour, finalizing the new sneaker line, producing a limited series on my life, starting a new social media NFT, oh Christ. And doing these private gigs over on IP Island. My dudes, you gotta come check it out. IP Island, it's dope. It's where the real killers are hanging out. Fully licensed, no legal drama. Lawyers, take a hike. Oh, is that where Pig is? Huh. I'm gonna tell everyone that Trickster said that about them. Don't worry. I'm talking your favorite established characters from all over pop culture that can't be seen on this island. Hell, you probably can't even mention them. Like Ghost... Don't you say it. Look, we get it. You're very popular and in demand. But we have a game to get back to, and I don't want to get sued. Ghostface. Come on. Whatever, I don't even care. I'm the Trickster. See you around, lying. You too, narrator. I may have thrown up in my mouth a little bit there. I have a name, you know? You do? Yes, seriously, they do not pay me enough to deal with you people. Is it my turn? What? No, no, it's not your turn. You're sentient water. How are you even sitting in that chair? What's a chair? It's the thing you're getting all wet. Now it's gonna smell like mildew. Okay, rude. Fine, let's just get this over with. It's your turn, Ocean. Do your check-in. Check-in? I was just looking for the bathroom. Bathroom? Are you serious? It's down the hall to the left. It's okay. Never mind. Never mind? What does that mean? No, not you two. This wasn't meant to be confessional time for literally every character in this game. It's okay. We don't have to confess anything. We've just been working our butts off for 2 days straight and wanted to sit down somewhere. This chair is wet. Yeah, I think the Ocean just peed on it. How is that? You know what? I don't care. You two are looking pretty pleased with yourselves. I've got something to confess. Oh great, what's it gonna be? You ate glue in the 2nd grade? You cheated on an algebra test once? Watching Trapper get eliminated was the first time in this unending spiral staircase of pain that is my life that I felt even a modicum of joy. Every minute that I'm alive is a nightmare. This place, this sun, these sweet sugary drinks. It sounds fun for a long weekend, but for an eternity. The unrelenting rhythm of crashing waves and wailing seagulls. It's like a crescendoing song of evil that makes me question the very foundation of the universe. Why am I here? Why are any of us here? What kind of sentient being would do this? Please, erase me from this existence. Make it so I was never born. Pull the plug on this experiment and let my soul be free. And please, please get me out of this polo shirt. Okay, let's get you to bed, buddy. I don't want to go to bed. Going to bed means eventually I'll have to wake up. Yikes. Huh? That was a weird way to end. Oh well, what are you gonna do? You let the camera roll long enough, someone is bound to say something crazy. Anyways, seems like everyone's had their shot to annoy me tonight, so hit the hay and get some rest. Tomorrow is gonna be a doozy. And with that, I'm going to take a short break just to go refill my libation, mostly known as taking my nice mug and just like swooping it under the water, but I'll be back in about 5-10 minutes. See you then. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a nice little break there. So, beginning of day 3. Soft sunlight warms your skin, nudging you awake. Also, you're using a killer crab as a pillow, which is sort of okay with it. What's that? You don't know about killer crabs? Oh, right, you didn't go on that hunter state. You really missed out, it was thrilling, or I guess it would have been. You'll have to play the game again to get that reference, I suppose. You pull on your beach attire and splash water on your face. Dwight and Claudette approach. Is that look on their faces excitement? Terror? You notice your stomach flutters with butterflies. Someone's in love. Or you've been infected with zombie butterflies in your sleep. It has happened here before. But it's probably the love thing. It's time! Claudette gestures over to the beach where the killers all stand flanked by tiki torches. It's a scene very reminiscent of a TV show you used to hate watch with your ex. Suddenly the message is clear. You are going to declare your affections for a killer in front of several other killers. Hey, isn't Trickster supposed to be here? We paid him good money to make some, like, cameo in this show. I'm gonna chew his agent out. But before they walk you over for your big moment, don't think we haven't noticed how kind you've been. I had literally one positive interaction with you, and it was because you just did your job. Jesus, how starved for affection are you people? It can't be easy being thrown onto a mysterious island for seemingly no real reason, surrounded by terrifying killers trying to manage your most primal impulses, murder and making out. And you've kept a cool head and treated us, your friendly island hosts, with dignity and respect. So don't tell anyone we told you this, but Claudette and Dwight look around conspiratorially. Just a little hint for you going forward. Don't try to go all the way with a killer who isn't into you. Relationships are two-way streets, and if they don't have a green, if you don't have a green light in the other direction, you might end up in the friend zone. The friend zone? That doesn't sound so bad. Where do you think you are exactly? Dead by Daylight doesn't do friends. There are killers and there are survivors, and I'm afraid we can't say more. Okay, so who's into me? Claudette and Dwight look around conspiratorially again. Well, I've never seen Spirit open up to anyone like she has opened up to you. I've seen her open up the insides of plenty of people, but thankfully for you and for us, that's in a different type of game. So, are you ready? Of course you're not, but too bad we're on a schedule. You make your way over to the row of hotties. Claudette and Dwight stand off to the side, hands behind their backs. It's been quite the 48 hours, but there are clearly sparks in the air, and I'm not just talking about this rusty chainsaw, though I do recommend staying away from those sparks. It's time for our newcomer to confess their love. Wait, I have to do a drum roll for this. No, you don't, but who cares? Lying, who do you choose for your solo date? Can we at least do the flower thing? Dwight, I thought we agreed to keep that between us. No, not that flower thing, the thing where the suitor gets a flower to use as a symbol for the contestant's love and affection. Oh, right. I suppose, but no roses, they're such a cliche at this point. Well, that's good, because I tried to pick a rose and I got an ouchie, so I settled for these. Huh. Beautiful. You've done good, Dwight. This is a lovely bouquet. I hope Dwight saved some of those for Claudette. They're a thing, right? You're getting that vibe too? Just me? Sorry, you've got other things to think about right now. Lying, who do you select to receive these flowers and spend the day with you today? Well, I think we know who we're going for at this point. You approach Spirit, peering below the brim of her impressively large hat and into her haunting eyes. Spirit, since I met you, you've been enchanted by my presence. I've been enchanted by your presence. You've challenged me to be a better person and resisted the urge to show me the sharp end of your katana. For that, I thank you. I'm ready to take our relationship to the next level. Donkey Kong. And we shall, up to the eye of the dark storm that is our reality, to the lantern room of the Black Lighthouse. It is time to see what you're made of, Lying. I thought it might be nice to start the day out on Wow! We just yanked his yacht. Okay. I wanted to spend the day out on Trapper's yacht before we head up to the Black Lighthouse. Even if I kinda hate this basic tropical vacation stuff like yachts and snorkeling or whatever, it's good for you to see me in the sun a little bit. At least, there's more to me than what you've already gotten to experience. I know that my whole vibe can be a little dark. The hat, the swimsuit, the plume of floating hair. This wasn't always who I was. I was a normal young woman once. Went to school, hung out with friends. I even had a part-time job working in a restaurant in town. And then, well, I know what happened. Your father, he murdered me and I woke as an undead Avenger. That's not what I was getting at. Something else happened to me. I realized I needed to be seen. I don't even know by whom. A lot of the time, when you think about ghosts, they're these kind of see-through, flickering specters. You imagine reaching out and having your hand go right through them. Ooh, like that sort of thing. Maybe there's some warpy effect on the world around you. I don't know, depends on which movie you're watching. But when I died, well, I dare you to try and reach your hand through me. Not really, that's not an invitation, it's rhetorical. Why did I end up this way? Who brought me here to this island? Who knows? I sure don't. I've got my ideas. Maybe what happened, if I'm being honest, maybe I was granted a wish. Maybe this is me finally being something to someone. Something scary, something violent, something feared. But without a doubt, something. Maybe whoever or whatever did this to me thought they were doing me a favor. And maybe, last maybe coming up, I promise, maybe they were right. Maybe, look, now you've got me doing it. Maybe they brought me to you. Something certainly brought us together. But I'm not exactly out there digging around in caves or dusting off antiques and trying to find clues and analyze their meanings. I do want to take this experience seriously, though. I want to give the process a chance. It may be a dumb process, and one that I have extremely little respect for as a person, but you just woke up on this beach with no memory of who you are or where you came from, and rather than freak out and simply try to swim away, you're giving this a chance. I actually didn't know swimming away was an option. Sharks, though. It's not. However, the fact that you never even tried, I think that means you've got courage, or an open mind, or, I don't know, maybe you stuck around because you like someone you met here? Maybe. While the two of you were getting old, even philosophically flirty, the yacht pulled up to the shore next to the Black Lighthouse. Last stop, everybody off! There were other stops? No, not of this trip, of your life. Spirit rolls her eyes and leaps for the shore. I'm just messing you, this was the only stop. Nobody here is really looking out for our fun, so we have to make it for ourselves. But no, there are no other stops. Seriously, go. Race you to poop deck, Dwight. This ship doesn't even have a poop deck. Oh, it will. Wow, just heck trapper, apparently. As you disembark, you see Dwight and Claudette run giggling across the ship. Too bad you can't date those two. They seem like they know how to have a good time. You arrive at the beach near the majestic Black Lighthouse. Its imposing form towers above you. A flock of birds circles lazily, no sense of fear or urgency, as if circling a corpse that hasn't moved in ages. Yep, they're even in the artwork. I'm excited about today. See? Spirit places her wrist delicately in your hand and presses your fingers down against her skin. It's cool to the touch, but you feel... is that the faintest of pulses? My blood is absolutely pumping. So, what happens now? Now I show you something that no one has ever seen up close before. Well, no one who has lived to tell about it. We're going there. Spirit points to the top of the lighthouse, amongst the circling birds. What's actually up there? Have you seen it? Hey y'all, how's everyone doing today? Seriously, my guy? My guy? Come on. Hi, Rafe. You sure seem chipper today. Something strange is definitely going on with this guy. Well, something else strange. Something different than what's usually going on. Rafe takes a deep breath, sucking in the ocean air like it's the greatest air that has ever been sucked. Lying. Thank you. Thank you for choosing someone, anyone else to go on a date with today. Alone, again, forever. This is how I was meant to be. I feel alive. Are you done? We're kind of, you know, on that date you just mentioned. I'm glad you're feeling better, Rafe, but like she said, we're in the middle of something. Do you mind? Oh, right. So, what you doing? Heading up to the eye of the lighthouse? I love it up there. You can really see the whole island from up there. In fact, Spirit, I thought you said no one has been up there and lived to tell about it, but this sounds exactly like telling about it. Technically, I don't think Rafe counts as being alive. I mean, I don't maintain the canon, but... Spirit waves her arms at Rafe from head to toe. And if he's not dead now, he's gonna be when I punish him for interrupting our date. Hey now, we can solve our problems without our hair floating up into any menacing shapes. I'll just be over here, running away. Enjoy the view. You know, I think Rafe was kidding about that whole being up there. Honestly, the view isn't even off the island. What you can see is mostly ocean, on account of it being, you know, a lighthouse. However, that does bring up an interesting point. Regarding your... how do I say it? Spirit's hand floats up as she scratches her head contemplatively. You don't usually see her at a loss for words like this. What's your... mortal status? Because despite what our lanky friend seems to think, the lighthouse is not to be trifled with. It's a beacon of death and suffering that brings doom to it from all corners of the world. If not further. Oh duh, you saw a freaking pirate ship seemingly travel through space and time only to crumble at the rocks beneath this spooky tower. But you decide not to point it out because that wouldn't be too romantic now, would it? I think I'm... alive? I'm here with you, walking this beach, feeling the water on my feet, feeling the sun on my skin. Here, with me, the spirit. Does that really make you alive? I guess I don't know. I probably should have been dead centuries ago, but here we are. If you come with me up into the eye of the Black Lighthouse, you may never return. Is that a risk you're willing to take? Because we have something, I won't deny it, I feel it, I'd hate for you to simply turn to ash. If we were to commit right here and right now to figuring this out as friends, we could put that risk off for another time. Just be friends? Ouch, is this her way of letting you down easy? I don't know if I want that friendship. I want you, that's why I chose you. I can't decide this for you, I can only warn you that it may not be safe. You might die up there and there's nothing I can do about it. Blip. You take a deep breath and think about every particle of sea air as it travels into your body and fills your lungs. It may be the last time you have such a thought, but you feel strangely at peace with that information. I don't need another friend. I want something more. I'd risk my life for it. Spirit smiles a quirky, devilish smile. This is honestly good artwork. I like the face. Especially when it does that. Right this way. Inside the lighthouse is almost pitch black. It was seemingly day when you stepped through the door, but inside this place is like a void. The last thing you see as the final rays of sun leave you is a horrible sight. A petrified body laying on the stairs, reaching not up, but down, as if it had been crawling. Watch your step. The things we do for love. Oh. When you arrive in the lantern room at the top of the Black Lighthouse, you breathe a sigh of relief. The light is out and seemingly defunct. Dust cakes the room as though it hasn't been operated in a century. However, somehow... It was just morning a minute ago, but now it's night? What do you mean a moment ago? We've been standing here looking out at over the ocean all day. I've really enjoyed the peaceful time together with you, taking in the view, standing in complete silence for hours. It was kind of my perfect date. Really? I don't remember that. Admittedly, my memory is garbage, especially later in the day, but... Huh. I just called it the perfect date and you can't bother to remember it? What kind of game are you playing with me? I want to remember it, it's just that for some reason my mind is completely blank. But, hey, I'm not dead. Oh, you're already dead and have been this whole time. That's true. Maybe we'll never know. It doesn't look like the light is working. Even turned off, the light has a power to it. The massive lens reflects moonlight through itself, a subtle sparkle that has a hypnotic effect. Maybe that's where the day went, staring into this light as the sun fell and the moon rise. Thanks for spending the day with me. I really had a good time. That's it? Don't get me wrong, this is really cool and all, I guess I don't know what I expected. I suppose if you thought you were walking into your death and nothing happened, it might feel a bit anticlimactic. Sorry, anywho, it's time to go. Here, let me just flip on the light for the staircase so it's easy to get down. The stairs still look pretty dark. Maybe it... Spirit is interrupted by a strange hum, and then it becomes frighteningly clear to you. That switch wasn't for the stairs, it was for the main lantern. A lantern that is now beginning to power up. The faintest smell of burning begins to reach up your nose. Oopsie, looks like maybe that switch wasn't for the stair lights at all. Now we see who is really alive and who is really dead, I suppose. It was bound to happen sooner or later. You slam your eyes closed, hoping that somehow not looking at the light itself will protect you. Not sure I see the logic in that, but if it is magic, it kind of defies logic. I want to see it, but I'm a little scared. Don't look directly into the light. Open your eyes and I'll look only at me and I'll keep you safe. Oh boy, minigame coming. Oh, come on. Not bad. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect! Missed completely. Oh, the inverted, really inverted minigame. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. You have to let it loop at least once just to know where you're gonna aim. Oy. Are you okay? You seem okay. I hope I haven't ruined this by pushing you to do something you weren't meant to do. You're so brave. Maybe not so coordinated, but certainly brave. I'm so lucky you'd put yourself through this for me. It shows that you're real. Despite your attempt to resist it, the incredible force of energy from the Black Lighthouse's lantern eye refuses to subside. No, it cannot be ignored, and it doesn't matter if you look directly at it or not. In the end, this was just a trivial game. This is real life, and real magic. You stare at it now, and its power penetrates your mind. Oh. Hey, been a while. How are things? Doing good? Feeling more dead? Or more alive? Yeah, love will do that to a person. Don't worry, it'll make sense soon. You wake to hear Spirit's muffled voice. You've got a terrible taste in your mouth, like burnt hair. The air feels damp and smells like ash, and apparently we've entered into a telltale horror game. It takes time for the sound to clear up, but eventually Spirit's words start to make sense to you. However, it's clear she's talking to someone else, not you. You know how sometimes people say, it's not you, it's me? Well, this time it is you, and it's also me. I can't believe I thought you would change for me. I can't believe I thought you were doing I thought that what you were doing was a sacrifice. You never gave anything up for me. Well, today I saw what love looks like, and it looks a whole lot different than this. I don't think you're hearing me, which is weird because I'm practically shouting. Nobody breaks up with Trapper. Nobody. What? Huh? You're telling me that am I connecting dots correctly here? These two were dating at some point? Huh. Oh yeah? Fine. Nobody breaks up with Trapper, but I'm not doing that. Really? Don't you say it. I'm dumping Evan McMillan, and there's nothing you or he can do about it. It's over between us, Evan. Rin, Trapper turns from Spirit and looks directly at you. You realize that you're laying on the ground of some weird tunnel. I think that your shouting woke up lying. My shouting? I'm sorry, I think I interrupted something very personal and also quite scary. Also, there's gotta be a really problematic age difference between these two. I swear I wasn't trying to listen in, but I heard a lot. Probably not everything. I think I woke up in the middle. What did you hear? It's just you dumping Trapper. We were never together. I mean, we were together. Wink, wink, wink. I know you're wearing a mask, but we can see your eyes. You don't need to say wink, wink, wink out loud. Another reason I'm right to have dumped you. You did not. It was mutual. The jig is, as they say, up. They know you're awake now, and you're going to have to deal with this awkward situation head on. Clearly, I shouldn't be here. You two are having a very personal conversation that I don't need to be involved in. I don't even know how I got here. Not here on this island or here in this creepy tunnel. As far as this island goes, your guess is as good as mine. As far as this tunnel goes, we brought you here. We? You and Trapper? But after the lighthouse light came on, you blacked out. On your way down, I thought you might have hit your head or something. It's hard to tell what blood is new or old around here. Either way, I wanted to get you someplace safe, and so I asked Trapper for help. It's not that I can't carry you, I just didn't feel like it. You know, I hate anything messing with my shards. Trapper, on the other hand, he loves nothing more than having an unconscious body draped over his shoulder. I could have asked Claudette and Dwight for help, but I don't trust them. But you trust Trapper? Like and trust are two different things. You might think Trapper can be a real jerk, and you'd be right, but you get what you see with him. We brought you down here because we're the only ones who know about this place. It's part of an old tunnel network that connects different places on the island. What up, guys? Talking Island Mysteries? My favorite topic. I was just in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd pop in. Trapper, you said this place was private. Don't look at me, I didn't tell him about it. Half of the appeal of this spot is getting away from people like him. Well, geez, I can see when I'm not wanted. So, you free a Frupple now, or...? Because I gotta say, I really didn't get the whole Trapper spirit thing, but hey, if it's not my business, I don't stick my nose in it. We were not a thing! Nobody traps the Trapper, not with traps or with relationships. And you do realize you're sticking your nose in our business right now, right? Wow, so hostile. If you don't want to talk about it, just say so. Anyhow, this tunnel has some very interesting features. If you head about 50 meters down that way, you'll find... Get out! Rafe looks around, just to be doubly sure that Trapper is addressing him. I was just leaving. This island, it's a lonely place, which is great for me. I love to be alone. Trapper, on the other hand, he's quite needy. And after a lot of pursuit, I finally let him catch up to me. And it became, well... I don't want to call it a relationship, because somebody really didn't want to have that talk, but we were more than friends. I dispute the events as told, for the record. I don't pursue, I stalk, and I lie in wait. Seeing eye to eye was not one of the things we were good at. So I hate to ask, but I did just look into a refrigerator-sized death lamp, so I guess I'm more of a glutton for punishment than I thought. What were you good at? Well, for starters... Excuse me, I'll take that question, thank you very much. If you know anything about me by now, it's that I'm on a quest. For revenge. Exactly. What you might not know, Trapper's like a great classical maestro of revenge. Trapper blushes behind the mask. That's one way to compliment a killer. Revenge against friends who had turned their back and betrayed him. Revenge against his father for making him into a monster. Revenge against a barista who wrote Ewan on his cappuccino, knowing his name was actually Evan. For someone who thinks about revenge as much as I do, Trapper is an inspiration. Ah, experience, I see. But they say to never date your heroes. Good advice, but I don't think that's the saying. And then you came along, lying. You showed me that it's okay to be lost, to feel pathetic, to push on when you have nothing real to offer anyone. Well, geez. I'm not sure where you got all of that from, but okay. You held up a mirror to my own doubts and fears, and showed me that they aren't everything about me, that I can embrace those things but not be defined by them. You showed me that life after death can be more than just an obsession with revenge and mind-blowing sex on the ground in a dark cave or a dusty old tunnel. TMI, little bit, but okay. Trapper nudges you in the ribs with his elbow. Gross. Clearly appealing to Trapper's better features has been a winning strategy for dumping his butt, because he seems to be taking it quite well. This whole half-off dating show parody thing, at first I thought was a lame idea. What kind of moron thought there was an audience for this? But then we spent some time together and I realized there was something actuality real here. Typo in the release, get they but. And I don't want to give up on us. I don't want to give up on us. Listen, lying, while you were knocked unconscious by some minor head trauma like a total weakling, Spirit confided in me that she has real feelings for you. I took it extremely well, naturally, because I trust her and value her opinions. That doesn't mean I trust you. If you want to get to her, you'll have to go through me first. By passing Trapper's Test, trademark, coming to BHVR TV, Sundays at 8 p.m. Welcome to Trapper's Test. Answer my questions correctly or die by my blade. Question 1. What is Spirit's real name? The one given to her by her murderous father, which she only lets her real friends call her. Die. Okay, you got that one. Don't celebrate yet. Question 2. What lives inside spirits? Dragon. Sure, everyone knows that. They wouldn't all be this easy. Question 3. Where did Spirit work back when she was a normal college girl before she was hell-bent on revenge? A restaurant. I know, to think I would date a waitress. Please don't tell my father I ever mingled with the... Oh, Christ, I do not like you, my eye. Yoy. Question 4. What's Spirit's favorite color? Black. I mean, come on. Look over here. It's black. You know it's black. After are these questions largely superficial? Sure, maybe I didn't get to know the Spirit that well. Maybe that's why she didn't. Maybe that's why I didn't work out for us. Who knows? Question 5, the final question. You got this, Lang. According to Spirit, what's worse than being dead? Not being seen for who you are. When I pitched Trapper's Test the suits at BHVR TV, they told me there was no room in the budget for a new car to be given as the final price for winning. So I killed them all, right there on the spot. While killing them didn't solve any of the budget problems, it sure did feel good. I'm telling you this A, to brag, and B, to explain why the only thing you're going to win is me saying congratulations for passing Trapper's Test. Not that it was a huge challenge, I mean, the woman obsessed with a giant light that shines in the dark has a chip on her shoulder about being seen. Go figure. You probably guessed, but rules are rules even if I literally just made them up. You got it right. So I guess I approve you dating Spirit. Oh, whatever. I never really cared in the first place. I was just hoping you'd slip up and give me a good excuse to wet my blade with your blood. Maybe I'll find a reason tomorrow. For now, you two have fun. Wink, 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 Trapper out. I'm sorry you had to endure that. What, 5 measly questions? It was nothing. Not even that, as ridiculous and unnecessary as it was, the whole thing. The waking up in a random tunnel, the overhearing our argument, the news that Trapper and I had something going on, and the stupid quiz, all of it, especially the whole Trapper out catchphrase. It's only because I actually like you. None of it would have happened if I didn't. And I like you too, Spirit. Please, call me Rin. Rin. I didn't really feel like our lighthouse experience was completed. There was something else I wanted to show you. Alone up in the lantern room of the tower. Get your mind out of the gutter, Lang. It's not that kind of... It's absolutely that kind of game. I know how some of the other... Well, how parts of the other routes go. What's that? Hold on a minute. I'm being told, no, wait, it is that kind of game. Disregard the gutter comment. Yep. I know that if I'd gone Huntress, I would probably have had to censor parts of this stream. Come back up there with me? There's no place I'd rather be, except maybe off this island, but we'll take what we can get. You're excited to return to the lantern room of this lighthouse, despite all of the drama and worry that was previously a part of this place for you. More importantly, you're excited to be there with Spirit, which makes it all the more crushing when you're interrupted by the arrival of Claudette and Dwight. Ah! Claudette's, Dwight's. Funny seeing you here. Wait, did I say funny? I meant tragic. Tragic? I don't think so. What could be tragic about a family reunion? Those are always joyous occasions in my experience. Before they can explain what that's even supposed to mean, the lighthouse begins to howl a low, frightening sound. The lens begins to glow in a now familiar way. You prepare to shield your eyes in case something bad happens to you again. Now isn't the time for any reality show adjacent shenanigans, Dwight. Claudette, shield your eyes. We don't know what the lighthouse will... Now, please don't interrupt. You'd think after all this time you'd know that we've got your best interests in mind. What? No, of course I don't think that. I got wax in your ears, friend. I asked you not to interrupt. Too late. The black light flares. In the darkness you see something horrible and strange. In the place of Claudette and Dwight are 2 ghoulish silhouettes. But before you can focus on them, the light passes and the 2 survivors are returned to their normal states. It's breezy up here. I should have packed a sweater. What in the hairy hell? Hey, watch the language. You shouldn't speak that way. Around your... Oh. Hello? Oni? Grandpa? My little Rin, you're such a woman now. They grow up so fast. I didn't know you were in this game. Lying, meet Grandpa Kazan Yamaoka. Well, technically not just Grandpa. Technically he's my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa. But that's a lot of grace to say in a row. I haven't seen my little Rin since I watched her over her from the afterlife when she was just a little girl. And I expect you all to say the great. It's a matter of honor and respect. Except Rin, she can do whatever she wants. My precious little angel. But you... Oni stares at you with his demonic red eyes. You're pretty sure even the decorative fur dye in his mask is looking at you. You mongrel, you must treat me with respect, or so help me I'll be cleaning bits of your head off of my kanabo. A kanabo is like a metal baseball bat covered in spikes. Yeah, it's this thing on his back. I'm not sure what a peasant like you is doing so close to a descendant of the noble Yamaoka bloodline in the first place. Dirk, Claudine, explain what's going on to me. It's Dwight, sir, and Claudette, remember? We explained that to you that you were going to come meet with your great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter's suitor and give or withhold your approval. 5 greats! Great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, sir. Your honor, master, sir. Dwight, he's a samurai, not a judge. Grandpa, they must have summoned you here because they think you have great judgment, and because if they summoned my father, I'd be too distracted by torturing him for all eternity to continue with the rest of the... whatever this is. Show? Game? Experience? Mental breakdown? Ah yes, that makes sense. Only a man of my own power and magnitude can help. Self-important much? I mean, he's definitely... Magnitude is a good way to describe the Oni, I feel. Nice to meet you, Kazan. Only my friends and family can call me Kazan. Those who tremble in fear at my presence call me Oni. You're seeing a serious resemblance to Trapper, not only the sheer size of the man that Oni is, the lad, but also his attitude. Apparently Spirit has a type. You sure you can, or want to measure up to that? It dawns on you that, wait a second, maybe you do resemble Oni. Every time you try to look at your own reflection, however, you become dizzy and confused. This definitely deserves more thought, but now is not the time to consider the fact that you might be some kind of hulking vampire with the first ever case of self-blindness. There's a massive samurai mad-dogging you from 2 steps away. Well, you don't scare me at all, so I'll stick with Kazan. Peasant! I realize now the true purpose of my visit is to extinguish your light. Oni waves his katana in the air at you menacingly. Like great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, like great-great-great-great-granddaughter, apparently. Well, hold up there, Grandpops, not so fast. You're only supposed to kill them if they deserve it. First, you should get to know them a little better. Young people these days. Always waiting to kill people, insisting they must deserve it. Back in my day, you did what needed to be done because your nobility depended upon it and also someone else higher up said so. In his day? For such an imposing presence, he sure is giving off serious old man yells at cloud vibes. You see, when I was a young man, we didn't have foreigners in our land. Didn't need them. Yeah, Kaikoku. We had an abundance of culture already. A little too much, if you ask me, but I didn't make the rules. The rulers did. Exactly how it should be. Literature, arts, commerce, theater, fashion, poetry, puppet shows, ghost stories, courtesans, gambling, fighting, fine dining, fast food, public executions. What were we talking about? Spirit giggles at her okay, I'm not saying all of those every time, at Oni's forgetfulness. You wonder, does she even like this guy? She sure hates her father, so... Listen up, old man, we don't have time for you to make a list of... We don't have time for you to a list of every activity available to the samurai in the entirety of the Edo period. Silence, peasant! You're showing your ignorance. Samurai were forbade from many activities that didn't befit the Bushido code, such as attending certain theatrical performances, for instance. Sometimes, however, a samurai would put on a disguise in order to seek out entertainment. Now, I'm not saying I did that because I had honor, but a body built like an entire castle that is quite... and a body that is built like an entire castle that is quite hard to hide. But clearly you have neither my honor nor my physique. You don't even know about the ins and outs of the shifting rules of traditional Japanese samurai etiquette, you fool! Rin, what would you want with such an uneducated admirer as this? You find it hard to believe that any contemporary person knows all that much about who was and wasn't allowed to do what leisure activities over 100 years ago. However, you're really not sure how to handle this massive demonic old man. Oh wait, I get it. Sweet Rin, my beautiful descendant, you invited me here to do what you're too kind to do. Bash this jerk's head in. Claude, Doris, fetch my kanabo. Rin, wrap your robe around this mongrel's hands and hold them still. We'll splatter their brains on the beach together as a family. Grandpa, no! That's not why I invited you here at all. In fact, I didn't invite you. Claudette and Dwight did. Ah, yes, sure. Wink, wink, twink. This whole saying wink out loud thing is getting out of hand. Him and Trapper really do have a lot in common, don't they? I swear, Lion has a good soul and the heart of a warrior. They fought for my love in their own way, faced down death more than once, and put up with their fair share of nonsense. Nonsense which seems to be endless. Can we, I don't know, wrap this up already? Of course. Who am I to expect anyone to wait around for my approval? I've only been hanging out as a ghost and watched my bloodline to be polluted by cowards and quitters for 5 generations. Just come give your ancestor-in-law a hug. Sword drawn, Oni beckons you closer. There's no way he has ever hugged anyone in his entire life. I think I'm good over here, actually. Rin, now, push them my way and I'll split them in half. The sacrifice of this usurper to the Yamaoka bloodline will surely bring us back to life and set us back on the course of honor. You're so silly, Grandpa. We both know that only one sacrifice can get our family back on track. Revenge on my father, your great-great-great-grandson, traitor to the Yamaoka name. The lust for violence in your voice, it fills me with cheer. I'll never forget who I am. I suppose if this is the person you want to be with to go on your journey of bloody revenge with, I should trust your judgment. The strength inside of you blooms from the same cherry tree that was planted years ago by our shared ancestors. And if lying ever treats me poorly, you have my word and our family's honor, I will wield my katana and gut them like a fish. I shouldn't be surprised by that. A tear rolls down from behind Oni's demonic mask. Oh, little cryy face. Oh. You sure you want to marry into this? I mean, there weren't much better options. I guess, strictly speaking, Huntress doesn't have much in the way of little, like, living relatives, but also she really wants kids. And I don't know if she's ready for that. One last word of advice, my dear girl. The father stuff, don't forget it, but maybe stop focusing so specifically and obsessively on it. What he did, it was awful, but it was already done. Do something for yourself now. Just my 2 cents. Be well, Rin. I will see you again soon. Now, let's go, servants. Clint, Denise, return me to the stables. I assume my dragon has been fed and tended to? Yes, sure. I swear, this is still better than dealing with Trapper's dad. I'm sorry if I was disrespectful of your great-great-great-great-grandfather. He seemed like a very special man. I realize I will never measure up to someone like that, possibly quite literally. A warrior with a hell of a fashion sense. I mean, that mask. Don't worry, I would never expect you to. Or want you to, really. If all I wanted was the biggest brute alive, I'd be down Trapper's cave right now avoiding his vintage bear traps. But that's not the life I've imagined for myself. This sense of abstract duty, anger at a world changing around me, a lust for blood, that's no way to live. And yet, as you now know, that is the Yamaoka way of life. Forever, I'm cursed to battle against the dragon that lives inside me. Or at least, maybe, I was, until now. Cole? Really? This is the pickup line I'm using? Really? Okay. Call me the Dragon Tamer, baby. You haven't won this game yet, please don't ruin it. Sorry, I have no idea where that came from. I think we've spent enough time in this lantern room. We should get back to the beach. The moonlight sets a romantic mood as storm clouds roll in and surround the black lighthouse. You know, the sun might have set, but if we wait long enough, it'll rise again. Oh. Spirit removes her sheer robe, showing you her strappy black bikini. Her pale skin glows in the light of the moon. Maybe you could get a head start in applying tomorrow's sunscreen. Oh boy. Again? I mean, yeah, of course. Last time was... Well, I definitely felt more connected to you afterwards. Also, that game was rough. Like, really rough. It gets harder each time whether or not you succeed. Ugh. To be totally real with you, I kinda just asked you as a goof, but I really enjoyed it. I swear though, if you tell anyone about this, I will not be labeled a foot freak. Not that there is anything wrong with feet, it's just that something about that kind of attention really gets people talking. And admittedly, if I'd known that was going to be a recurring thing here, I maybe would have picked somebody else, but here we are. Steady, steady. Perfect. Miss. Almost. Perfect. Yes. Good enough. Hoi. Okay, I love feeling your okay, I signed up for this, I guess. I didn't know this would be the exact content, but this is a thing that I now have to read out. And woe upon anyone who did not attend these streams, because this is now a thing that you're gonna miss out on. God, that's so goddamn hot. I love feeling your hands sliding up and down my feet and between my toes. My skin has never been more moist. Get up here right now. Before you can find a towel to wipe off your lotioned hands, Spirit grabs you and pulls you in close. Her lips lock onto yours. They're surprisingly soft and warm. The sensation is incredible. Clouds cover the moon, and you find yourself on the beach with Spirit in complete darkness. You can feel the narrow straps of her bathing suit come undone and come to life, snaking through the air, wrapping around your body, lifting you up off of your feet. Come here, you. So this is what it feels like, to fly. As Spirit pulls you close, you feel bits of glass press into your flesh. Pain and pleasure mix and wash over you like the ocean, salty air stinging your skin as you writhe against your undead lover. The lighthouse howls. In the darkness, you're pretty sure that Spirit lets the dragon inside of her take over. If it kills you, you're sure it will have all been worth it. The clouds part just as you manage to pull yourself, exhausted, away from Spirit. A chunk of broken glass is lodged in your shoulder. When you pluck it from your skin, it drips blood. Sorry, I think this got stuck to me when I was having the best night of my life. Spirit drags her fingertip over the sharp end of the glass shard. Keep it. Consider it a memento. I've got plenty more where that came from. Back on the beach, the other killers roll their eyes as you show up with Spirit, doing that couples thing where you walk with your hands in each other's back pockets. She is wearing a bikini. That's not a hand in her back pocket. I am just grabbing one buttock, aren't I? You know, it's obnoxious, but Level will do that to a person. Last day, you beautiful piece of meat. You've done so well. We're almost at the finish line. You didn't think I brought you all this way without a plan, didn't you? What kind of sinister body of salt water do you think I am? Lying, Spirit, welcome back. Since you're both still alive, we can assume you had a good time? You point to the many open wounds on your body, complete with bits of sand and dirt stuck in them. You could say that. Also, I just noticed that her hair cuts off here. Oh. I think some of those might be infected. You should really get them checked out. If you're actually going through this, the thing you should get checked out is your head, my friend. Spirit is absolutely nuts. You won't survive a week dating her. Didn't you just give us your blessing like 3 scenes ago? You might think that she's all sad and introspective, but the truth is she's a demon hell-bent on revenge who will ultimately stop at nothing to satisfy the lust for death that courses through her veins. I can't get her out of my mind. I know all of that, and I think it's hot. She's the goth girlfriend of my dreams, and you're just jealous you lost her, so you're trying to run me out of town. Well, guess what? I'm not scared of you. I'm with Rin now, and she's got my back. Literally, she carved her name in it with a piece of broken glass. Thank God it was only 3 letters long. Alright, we get it. Everyone is super tough. All you do is kill, no matter what. But we've got a show to finish, and this is the finale, so we need to hold on for just a moment longer. Oh, great, we're being edged. After all, that was the point of this whole experience, to give even the most demented killers a chance at finding love. And it worked! To think, my official bio called me distinctly below average. Well, look at me now, Dwight! Also, the world, I guess. I'm about to officiate the wedding of 2 complete maniacs. Please, Spirit, take this bouquet and prepare your vows. Oh boy! Oh boy. As soon as you both say I do, we can send you off on your exclusive honeymoon. Hold up. Nobody is saying I do today. Yeah, me neither here, really. Nobody is... Wait, what? Marriage is an archaic social institution put in place by men in power thousands of years ago to maintain their control in the world. I'm not interested in playing their game. I'm not interested in doing what anyone tells me or living by any rules that I don't believe in deep down in my heart. In fact, now that I think about it, I don't remember being asked if I want to take part in this bootleg reality TV BS in the first place. Did anyone here agree to this? I'm still not entirely sure what's going on. Spirit has manifested her katana, and in a moment the mood has changed from a romantic climax to a place of terror. Whoa, we're all having fun here. If you just say I do, we can... I won't. With a slice of her blade, Claudette is no more, replaced by two halves of Claudette, neither of which are especially alive. Dwight is horrified. There's a chance he actually wet himself. Lucky for him, Kaki hides a lot of things. Unlucky for him, urine isn't one of them. Meanwhile, Trapper, Huntress, and Rafe are eating popcorn. Where'd they get popcorn? You were under the impression that Claudette and Dwight did all of the cooking around here, so... Sorry, now's not the time to think about who popped the popcorn. A gruesome murder just happened. This is for you. You know what to do. Spirit hands her your katana. Spirit hands you her katana. My brain is going melty, I guess. Blood loss, possibly. You look on a whimpering Dwight and feel everyone waiting for you to put him out of his misery. Look, Lion, we're on a very tight schedule. You respect schedules, right? And if you kill me, I'm afraid of what comes next. So, I don't know, could you not? You think back to that strange moment in the lantern room of the Black Lighthouse. When the light hit Dwight, there was something off about it all. As if he wasn't real, or at least not really human. But is that a good enough reason to do him in with Spirit's katana? Or is that actually a reason not to kill him? This doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense is taking control, taking it away from them, taking it into your own hands and carving out a new destiny for yourself. Kill this pathetic worm, kill him, and join me on my mission. Together, we will be unstoppable. That's quite an offer. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna kill him because that sounds damn nice, and also he was they were literally stabbing each other trying to find the right way to die. So, bleh. You raise Spirit's katana, and with the ease of slicing a wedding cake, metaphor intentional, I'm sure, you cut him in two. His dead body slumps on the ground in front of you. That was so incredibly sexy. Rin places her hands over yours and you both hold her katana, your fingers intertwined. You look to the other killers and see something new on their faces. Respect. You're one of them now. Ruthless, uncompromising, splattered with blood. A killer. My father is really gonna poop his pants when he sees the two of us coming. Oh dang, that's some art. Look at that. Also, there are some very evil looking seagulls and I love this image. What are you waiting for, lover? You sit on the beach, below the Black Lighthouse, watching seagulls devour the liver of a dead pirate who was washed up on shore. Just think about how much I love you, Rin. Well, stop thinking and show me. You think we'll ever leave this place? What do you care? I hope we don't. Ha! The achievement I've just gotten is 1 down, but I do not have the voice and the patience to go through every route of this particular game. Ah! That was nice. I enjoyed that. I kind of wish I had taken a screenshot of that piece of art, but maybe I'll get lucky, it'll be somewhere auto-stored. But yeah, we got Spirit True Ending, everybody. I'm pretty sure, at least. But yay! That went well. I definitely flubbed the first sunscreen minigame, but I think it turned out okay for us. So, that is our playthrough of Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating sim, which is definitely one of the most absurd things I've ever played. It's definitely one of the weirder things that exists, but it's nice to see developers of a horror game actually have a sense of humor about this whole thing, especially because I'll be honest, most of the Dead by Daylight community is one of two things: incredibly unpleasant or incredibly thirsty for big towering meat. So yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm not 100% certain what our next game will be, but we'll be finding out next week, as ever. Meanwhile, the next stream I have is tomorrow, and that'll be the carousel, where the other one will be talking about what's been going on this week and playing some random games with their patrons. And then on Tuesday, they'll be back for some scintillating, I'm sure, programming, because edutainment, I guess. Not like anyone watches that. I mean, come on, that's just boring as hell. And then there'll be probably some more games on the Thursday, but I hear tell that the other one that's usually with the other one, usually playing some space game, isn't around for a few weeks. So look out for some other peoples and games and whatnot. And of course, I'll be back on the Friday. And oh yes, do head over to patreon.com/lying if you want to actually help keep any of this going. And any videos are over at youtube.com/lyingtube. Otherwise, I hope you've all enjoyed, and as ever, stay afraid. I'm going to go Google some things now, and not going to tell you what they are.